Hey everybody, I'm Chris. I am the ghostly figure that you see on your screen right now. This is the Blue Collar Beer Gourmet channel. On this channel, I like to drink craft beer, I like to review craft beer, and I don't like to pay a whole lot of money to do it. So the beers that I review on this channel usually come in around the $2 price range. And once again, I apologize. This is the second video that's like this. I got a glary day here in Vegas, and it makes me look like, as well as I put it before, I look like Casper the Ghost's fat uncle. So anyway, I apologize for how ghostly I appear in this video. Hopefully tomorrow when I come out to record, it won't be quite as glary and I won't look quite as translucent. Today's selection, I did pay $1.79 for a 12-ounce bottle, and that is the Galeforce IPA from Scuttlebutt Brewing. Let's see if I can get this in without getting too much glare. There we go. Get that a little bit closer, perhaps. Yes, there we go. Get a little... Yeah, that's the thing, is it's cloudy and it's very glary in Vegas right now. As I said, I paid $1.79 for this beer. Scuttlebutt Brewing is out of Everett, Washington. I had some experience drinking Scuttlebutt beers, and when I lived in Tacoma area. It has a 5% ABV. Typically, American IPAs come in between 5.5 and 7.5, so it's actually on the low end of alcohol. 25 IBUs. Typically, American IPAs come in between 40 and 70 IBUs, so it's very low on the bitterness scale as well. It uses Nugget and Mount Hood hops, and among the reviewing community, 5 of my friends on Untappd gave it a cumulative score of 3.45. 9,927 of us have given it a score of 3.39. And on Beer Advocate, 102 rankings have given it a cumulative score of 3.5, which on their scale, that is a good. So that's the ins and outs of that. That's the thing about IPAs. Not only are they inundating the market, but there's not much to be said about them. There's not a whole lot of info for me to give you about IPAs. I mean, prior to American Pale Ales used to be the craft beer of choice, then the IPA craze took over, and right now that seems to be... Hell, there are some brewers, you think that's the only thing that they make. But anyway, it's an overdone variety, that's for damn sure. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some great ones, there aren't some good ones. It's a variety that I like, but I just kind of wish that brewers were... It's craft beer, guys. Get creative. That's the whole point of this. This is an audience that is seeking creative, venues. So the Budweiser crowd, you can't try new and interesting flavors and varieties, but you can with the craft beer crowd. We're the crowd who's willing to pay a couple of bucks more for something like that. So off of soapbox, back to IPA. Going to be using my Venezia bottle opener that my friend Tony picked up for me when he was in Venice. Crack this bad boy open. And Kelly, if you're watching, you just scored yourself a black cap with an anchor motif on it. Going to be using my Stone IPA stemmed IPA glass. Stone is Stone does make a lot of IPAs, that's for sure, but they make good ones. They make extraordinary ones, so I kind of cut them a little slack with their IPA preponderance. All right, that is coming through a nice carroty color. What you're seeing is about a shade darker, but pretty close to the color itself. I'm going to describe that as about medium carbonation, not overly high, not overly low. That head seems to be fairly resilient. Going to give it a quick beard wipe, see what I come across. Smelled a lot of malt, actually, more than anything else. Going to stick my schnoz into it, see what we can come up with. Wow, malt. That's what I smell more than anything. Malt, malt, malt. Typically on an IPA, you get the hop profile more than the malt. This is malt, and more malt, and it almost smells like Pilsner yeast coming through too. It's kind of strange for an IPA. I don't see any reason to keep pontificating. I'm going to start drinking. Cheers. Well, and mind you, this is 2 months. I'm sorry, I didn't mention this before, but this beer is 2 months until its best by date. So this is well within range. This does not taste at all like an IPA to me. This is very malty, Has a very low mouthfeel, not getting any hop composition. You know, I keep trying to give Scuttlebutt the benefit of the doubt because they've been around so long. I think they've been around since, say here, 96, okay? So they've got over 20 years of brewing. But I tell you, man, I don't think I've ever given a Scuttlebutt beer a particularly high ranking. Certainly not going to be giving one to this one. Uh, this does not taste like an IPA. It tastes like a malty lager, actually. Um, I will tell you, gang, I'm going to be giving this beer a 2.5, and I think that's actually very generous. I said once before I was through with Scuttlebutt Brewing. I saw a $1.79 for an IPA and thought, let's give that a chance. But I don't care how inexpensive they make their beers. They're just not for me, and they just don't seem to be very true to style, and they never seem to be very good. I'm not going to say I'm never going to drink another Scuttlebutt beer, but you ever make up your mind to do something, and then something comes along or not to do something, and something comes along and you say, okay, well, I'm going to make an exception this time, and all it does is confirm to you why you made the original choice to either do this or not do it. Sorry, Scuttlebutt, but this is exactly, I'm getting exactly the feeling of why I shouldn't bother with your beers anymore. It doesn't taste anything like an IPA. If I were judging this, if I was doing beer judging like I have before, the first thing I would put on the top of the thing is mislabeled variety. It just doesn't taste like an IPA. It's not an IPA as far as I'm concerned. It's a 2.5 worthy malty lager. So, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, gang, drink good beer. Don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.